Then what is the fate of the Southeast in 2027 and what are their chances?
Our faith is that we're praying God to be alive. We never had anything since 1970, apart from the little effort Alex Ekweme made and was able, under MPN, to be chairman. Vice president of Nigeria. I'd always said that each time I'm asked that question, I only give one answer. We don't need to be president of Nigeria or anything to develop the Southeast. All we need is for our 5 governors to be indigenous of Southeast, to have the interests of our people at heart, coordinate their efforts. Our place will be as good as Taiwan or Japan. We don't need Abuja or Lagos to do it, because if you go to Lagos, 80% of developments they are up from people. It was done with from people from our region. Even in most parts of the north, the same thing. So we can afford to put our house in order and then develop our place. If we can do it for other people, we can do it for ourselves too. And it is circumstances like this that push people to start thinking home. Knowing fully well that if you don't develop your place, how can you claim leadership? When the war started, people ran home to find out they don't even have a place with their families to stay. That's why at the end of the war, people started building houses, the whole of the Southeast. So I hope that will translate into proper development, industrial development, estates and such things. And they're happening in most places now. So it takes time to do, but it might not be immediately visible, but a lot of work is going on in the Southeast.
In the light of what you are saying now, where does he leave P2B? Does he still have a chance to contest?
Well, if there is a Nigeria, he will contest. If there is a Nigeria, politically speaking, I think P2B has one advantage. He has gone beyond the call of duty being an Igbo man. He's a Nigerian. People look at him as a Nigerian hope, which is an advantage he had that no other leader has it. It's a Nigerian hope. Those who don't trust President Tinubu, most of them trust P2B. They believe he can make a change. Again, that is, thank God you use the word trust. That is where trust becomes valuable, becomes something you can look forward to. Most Nigerians who have lost faith in the political process pray and hope that Peter will emerge to become the future of this country. That is genuine trust. If somebody can lay his future, himself, his family, and give it to one man, that's a lot of trust. And I believe that he cannot abuse it. He will not disappoint if God gives him the opportunity to be president of this country, if there is still a country.
Why do you say there's still a country?
Yes, you can remain in a place without it, and it's not a country. Once you balkanize a place, it's not a country. Because I don't know what is coming up from the north. A lot of meetings are holding on in different parts of the north. Nobody knows what is going to come up. So we're in a dilemma. The dilemma is the kind of situation that happened in the morning. You hear Ojukwu make a big speech. In the evening, Gowon replies him. And we continued this for about 2.5 months I think it was up to 2 years from the coup of 66. A few months, and then the civil war started. To the ordinary person on the street, you'll be excited. Ojukwu is going to speak in the evening. He speaks very well. He'll listen. The next morning, go on with this, I will crush this, I will do this. We didn't know crushing meant that people would die. Until the civil war started, and people started dying, and we saw the meaning of speaking English in the morning. So again, you can see the trouble rearing its head again. There's crisis in the politics. So if it's not from the military, it is even more dangerous if it's coming from the civilians who are supposed to be the stabilizing factors in the politics. You can start a revolution by voice. What you say in your mouth could be destructive, could raise hatred, mistrust. A lot of things could happen without really firing a gun.
What do you make of Trump's claims designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern?
Well, I'm one person who I don't take whatever Trump says seriously. He has a lot of problems in America. He should go and face his problem. But as a leader of the free world, you should take anything he says. Not with a pinch of salt, but if it affects your country in one way or the other, and it is relevant to trying to make amends. If I were Tinubu and what he's saying, because I've seen bishops making speeches from Plateau, that there are killings going on there. So at least for once, he says something that is happening. You may not like that, but it is true that there are killings. Because I've seen Anglican and Catholic bishops in Plateau saying that there are killings going on. And who are doing the killings? Islamic fundamentalists are doing the killings. So I don't think Trump has gone far from the truth, considering what he used to do in the past. Everything for Trump is political. Could use anything for politics. But in the Nigerian situation, he doesn't need to gain anything. But he said the truth. People would have petitioned him. Maybe people in the Congress who had received petitions from Nigeria would have told him. And America has a lot of security establishment in Nigeria to be able to find out exactly what is happening. So he's not talking out of beer parlor speech. There must be enough evidential proof that something like this is happening. And he said that. And you can see our government struggling to explain. They are not defending, they are struggling to explain out themselves from what he said. And it's not been successful. They have done it very poorly.